Long overdue update on the expansion to the Nintendo room. The handheld collection has entirely moved over. I also am going to move over the Pokemon collection in this video. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. The expansion is going pretty well. I've been overwhelmed with other things going on in my life, so I put a pause on moving everything. There's a lot to move, obviously, but the handheld collection is here, so I'm going to go over it with you, and then I'm also going to talk about how the Pokemon collection is going to fill out these shelves, and hopefully we get to that in this video, we meaning my wife and I. So the Pokemon collection that we will have to move over is here, and basically a whole bunch of things needs to happen in Cascade in order to get this entire room set up for a new room tour, basically the 2021 room tour. So one of the first things that has to happen is all of this, all of the plush for the entire Generation 1, these are called Sitting Cuties, or Pokemon Fit. They're basically like Beanie Babies with Pokemon. All of them are going to go in the shelves over there. The handheld collection of games that you see here and cartridges and other memorabilia, like some, I guess, figurines as well, and some Pokeballs and some Pokemon cards, those are all going to go over to the other side, as is the clock and the poster. Just have to figure out where everything exactly will go. The 3 shelves are going to be here that I'm going to use for it, so it's one more shelf than what I had before. Pokemon's such a big collection. Then I need to decide, is this shelf on the right going to go over here? I kind of do like how this looks, especially considering it mirrors all the other parts of the room that I talked about. 3 in the middle, 1 larger Billy bookcase on each side, which is the exact same what I have over here for the Zelda wall, and it's kind of the same for the Mario wall, kind of keeping that theme. So in this video, we're going to move over the Pokemon collection, I'm going to go through the handheld collection, and also that means the Zelda collection might be moved as well, because this all needs to be moved off, probably just onto the poker table, so I can take these shelves, stack them on top of one another. I have another half shelf somewhere else, and there's just so much that needs to get done. But one thing at a time. So let's go through the handheld collection, because I think it looks pretty good here. My idea is that when you come down into the new Nintendo space with the expansion, we're going to start with handheld collections, mostly kind of going in order, and then eventually make our way to a Pokemon Wall, and then we have the NES and the Super Nintendo, and then N64, GameCube, Wii, all the way around basically, which is why I need to move some shelves around. What a bunch of a mess of stack of stuff that I haven't really talked about in some videos, and some other pickups and things like that are on the shelves. So the handheld collection, when you first come downstairs, if you turn, I guess, right at the stairs, you come around, we're going to have a TV set up, 2 like CRT TVs with Game Boy players attached to GameCubes, with the 2 chairs here, and then immediately kind of into the handheld area of the Nintendo space. That's why I'm moving the Pokemon Wall over here to kind of make all of this one nice handheld space. So for the handheld collection, we have the Game & Watch kind of on the top shelf, then the Game Boy, then the Game Boy Color, which kind of spills over to the next shelf, along with the Game Boy Pocket, which I didn't have last year, and then we have the Game Boy Micro, Advance, some other versions of the SP as well. Then the DS, the DSi, the DSXL, special editions of Zelda consoles, and some Mario or Pokemon systems as well. And then here are more 3DS systems in this case, just special editions and 2DS special editions. So I'm going to go through this in way more detail in my room tour, which is supposed to hit sometime before 2022 actually happens. So hopefully sometime in December this year. I also have some Pokemon figurines up top there. They're probably not going to stay. I think my idea is to either turn this into a Pokemon card shelf. I kind of have it on the way already with some Elite Trainer boxes, and then also some binders of the cards that I have throughout the years. I collect a lot of the Wizards of the Coast sets, so if I take a look at some of these, I'm not sure where this starts. This is the McDonald's one, and I'll go through that maybe in the video as well when we actually get to that. I think this is my original set down here. Yes, that's one of my original sets down there, the base set basically, Jungle, Fossil, moving all the way up to Neo Discovery, I believe. That might be the most recent set that I'm really avidly collecting for, other than McDonald's ones. So maybe this will be a Pokemon card area, and then the plush and the games collection will be here. That kind of makes sense along with the entire theme of the room being handheld as much as possible. I do think I'm going to move the bar table maybe out of here and put the Pokeball, especially at least for the room tour, put the Pokeball table, which is over here covered in stuff right now, by the way, just ridiculous, but put the Pokeball table with the chairs probably in here with the Pokemon room, along with these 2 chairs that are already here. I also threw together this, which I am not in love with quite yet. It does say keep smiling while gaming, however, but I'm not really in love with this. I probably have to fix this a little bit, make it a little bit different, or paint it, or use a different material for that. So next up, let's take, I guess all this stuff will be removed. But mainly I'm going to now start moving over the plush. So my wife's going to be here, she's going to be helping me out. We're going to move over all of the plush for the entirety of Generation 1. I do have some of the plush for Generation 2. I'm not sure if I'll include that in this video or save it for the room tour. For Gen 2, Gen 3, and Gen 4 of these sitting cuties, basically, that are made by the Pokemon Center. So I think this will be one of the shelves, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have 9 spots, so I have some more room to expand. I'm not going to get all the Pokemon fit, but I do want to get all the starters and some of the legendaries anyways, from all the other generations. Alright, so let's get to it. We moved out the entire collection of Pokemon Fit. You can see that this provides us a really good opportunity to dust this area and clean it as well. Going in this section is going to be something else, maybe World of Nintendo, I'm not sure yet. We still have to move over the games. But look at all the Pokemon Fit on the floor. My wife put them down in order, just following basically a big giant loop on the ground. So thank you for helping me, basically, Ivory. We call her Ivory in the gaming world. And then here are the shelves that we have set up. In order to make this work along this wall, there's an electrical panel box right there, so this Billy bookcase is up against it, which basically, I wanted to fit 5 of them there, but we were short by 1 inch, it didn't fit in, so we had to try and cut one down. So I cut down that Billy bookcase previously, and the shelving that I had used previously was not going to fit. So these plexiglass shelves that I kind of made, they're overlapping only in the middle section here, not on the outsides. You're not even going to notice it because the Pokemon Fit are going to cover them up. If you're wondering how I did this shelving, I found these little L's, I want to call them. I'm not even sure what these are, but these are kind of holding up a piece of plexiglass that I just cut down to size. I bought all of this when stores were closing locally, so something like Target was closing in my area, and I went in and I bought all of these supplies for displays. So we're also dusting this area, making sure the Pokemon Fit look good. We're going to put them, I think, in order from 1 to 9, and then going across 10 to, I guess, 18, and then 19 to 27, and basically go another 27 each row. So we'll fill up the top 6. The bottom 3 will be reserved for more Pokemon Fit, because there's basically more of the sitting cuties, I should say, are coming. So Gen 2, 3, and 4, I hope to show those off in the new room tour. That's all Pokemon Store has out right now. So let me put those in place, and we'll see how this looks. The entire collection's moved over, and I have to say, I love this set of Beanie Babies. I just want to call them that for Pokemon. So just to show this off, my personal favorite, by the way, what is your favorite Pokemon of all time? Feel free to comment below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so too. This is essentially the bottom half is like a Beanie Baby, and the top is just a really well-made plush. They do cost anywhere between, I think, $12 to $15. Recently, some of the more intricate ones have been a few more dollars on the Pokemon Center, so that's just kind of upsetting. I wish they were all the same price still. Some of them are so simplistic, like Electrode, and some of them, like Blastoise, have a lot more movable pieces, let's say, in it. So Gen 1 looks really good. It ends off, look at all the evolutions back there, at least the original 3. It ends off all the way back there with Mewtwo, and I included Mew. It's a little bit dark, so I think each of these could really do with 1 pot light each, maybe 1 or 2 just to light the space. The back row is just way too dark in order to do this. Then on the bottom here, I do have some from Gen 2, some from Gen 3, and some from Gen 4, but I am missing some of them, and I don't think they're going to arrive in time for the video. They're actually definitely not. Gen 2, I think I have all the starters and some other notables, like legendaries and some evolutions there. From Gen 3, though, I'm missing some of the starters still, and a bunch of the other necessary kind of ones that I wanted to get. Gen 4 just came in, really excited about that. I'm missing another one. I'm missing Leafeon, basically, a few of the legendaries, but I at least have all the starters from Gen 4. Gen 5 has not released yet. So I'm trying to future-proof myself by not filling this entire section too much as Gen 5, 6, and so forth come out and eventually fill in this space. But it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with this, and I really like how this is going to feel like a Pokemon space on its own with these in here, especially kind of featuring these off a little bit more in their own space. The handheld room. Now, next up, I do need to move over the Pokemon games. However, I'm just going to show off the Zelda wall over here. For the Zelda wall, I have some shelves behind that are really good length, and these ones are going to be removed because the Pokemon collection is going to go on the side shelves on either side of this. And I'm going to put the Nintendo Power magazines in between here, so I don't need those. So basically, the entire Zelda collection has to come down, I think, like I said, onto the poker table, and then we're going to use those shelves to move over all of these Pokemon games, so that I'll have more room to grow for the Pokemon games, and eventually maybe the posters will come over too. So that's what's next up in order to fill up the top of this space, so let's do that next. Here you have it, the Poké Wall. I think it is looking spectacular. There is so much going on. Let's just give you a quick overview. I did keep the exact same shelves for the entire collection of the Pokemon handheld games. I do have room to expand. If I want to just extend this shelf all the way to the sides, then I can. So that's probably coming in the future. I'm not sure if this will be the exact final look before the room tour, but this is probably pretty close. So we have the collection there. I also have some Tommy figurines on the side, a Chilling Reign sword and shield posters kind of covering up the window, Ash Ketchum and Pikachu. I really wanted to keep that poster and that one looks really good. The collection of 151, these are little figurines essentially that are really hard to find. This set is crazy hard to find. I think it's made by Hasbro. The Sword and Shield, I guess, emblem, then a Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu poster along with the trading card game. That is the Sun and Moon Cosmic Eclipse Advent Calendar. Some more figurines on the side, and then of course we have the cartridge-based games. I have doubles of a lot of them just so that I can play one with my own and then one with my wife or one with a friend. And then of course the entire plush collection is there as well. So the Poké Wall looking pretty good. Some other little knickknacks to tie it up. I did put a Pokemon through the years poster up there. I'm not sure if it's going to stay there. I'm probably eventually going to line the beam with shelving. I also put a Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire up there. And the Pokemon card collection, I just kind of threw this together relatively quickly. We have some of the older sets that I have from the trading card game. I worked at EB Games and I got these. 2 of them are still factory sealed. The other ones I foolishly opened up throughout the years. Then some Elite Trainer boxes. Also the different binders I have in some of my graded cards, and then some other binders and cards, and then some sets at the bottom. And this is not everything I have for Pokemon. There's a lot more. There's systems all over the place and things like that, but I think the Poké Wall had to definitely grow. I think it was way too small before, and I think it looks a lot better now. So huge shout out and thank you to my wife for helping me set this up. I'm not in love with the way the posters are. It kind of looks a little bit like more chaotic. It might look better if I get another poster the same size as the Ash and Pikachu one, which I just extended below the game shelf, and maybe put that on the other side. Maybe that'll look a little bit better, and then maybe stack the figurines there. This looks a little bit chaotic over here. I can probably put the emblem and the poster and the trading card game maybe somewhere else down there, so might still work on this to make it look a little bit better in the future. What does the old wall look like, if you were wondering? Well, it's completely empty over here, so it's ready to go for whatever else I want to put here. Maybe this will be Mario Kart, maybe World of Nintendo stuff, and to be honest, the room is complete disaster right now. Look at the pandemonium mess. I was able to move the Nintendo Power magazines over. They did fit. I'd probably need to do a whole other video about that. I did break part of the shelf that I have to put back together, and it was a really, really close fit. So now I'm just trying to figure out how else to make this look a little bit better. I do think I'm going to use the 2 shelves on the sides for the Zelda collection, because I have so many Zelda-themed items that are all over this table that need to go basically along this wall. Moving the Switch collection is right now just piled. It's all over the place right here. Just a mess. I hate when my collection's like this. It drives me crazy, but one step at a time, and a lot of things had to move in order to make this work. The Wii U collection, like I said, it started to come down a little bit as well, just so that I could move the shelf over the 6 inches I needed to move it over. Added that extra shelf for the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Hopefully that does come out. Now I have room for it and everything like that. So this is what the collection looks like right now. It's a bit of a mess. Things are all over the place. Nintendo Power magazines and guides need to go back. All these chairs, I'm probably going to swap out the poker table anyways, but there is a bit more room now without having something behind the couch, which is a little bit better. So let me know what you think I should do with this space. It's now empty and free. My thought is World of Nintendo and maybe Mario Kart, because that's probably the next franchise that needs some space. I have a Mario wall. We have a Super Smash Bros. Wall. We also have a Zelda wall. Of course, we have the brand new Poké Wall, and maybe I have a Mario Kart little section as well. This really does look spectacular now. Wow, when you walk into this, it looks like it's a lot more set up and ready to go. This in itself is such a cool Nintendo room. I just have to finish setting up anything else that's supposed to in this room. I have to do the TVs, make this look a little bit better. Underneath the stairs obviously has to go. There's the more shelving that needs to come over here. I started putting these back together. That took me a really long time. And I'm going to move that Billy bookcase over there. Those two GameCube ones have to come over here. There's tons of work to be doing. Even this table needs to move, and the Pokeball table has to come over here. Lots to go. Tons of work to get done, but progress is progress. Again, thanks to my wife. Thanks to everyone else who's ever given me tips about how to make this look better. I do think it's coming along really quite nicely, and I do still want to bring the room tour sometime this year in 2021, but we'll see how that goes because I'm not going to rush it. If it's not ready, it's not ready, but this is really starting to come together and looks pretty good overall. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket. Follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video. It would really help if you subscribe to the channel, comment, like the video as well. Helps it go out in the universe and gets more eyeballs on the video. Stay awesome, my friends. Go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.